We're going to start with file item 213. Senator Wieckowski, are you prepared to bring this issue forward?
I am prepared.
Wonderful. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 610 by Assemblymember Jones Sawyer, an act relating to child support and declaring the urge thereof to take effect immediately.
Great. Senator Wieckowski.
For people who are incarcerated, the state of California cannot retroactively erase accrued child support. However, federal law provides that states with the discretion to set child support orders to zero by operation of law so that the payments are manageable after prison release. This is the intent of the bill before us, AB 610. Failing to pass AB 610 will only worsen the problem of ever-increasing debt that incarcerated parents cannot pay back and makes the reentry challenging and endangers the state's federal funding level. Now, AB 610 will extend a recent sunset law to permit an incarcerated parent with no income to freeze the child support order if both the parents have no reservations. This bill will help both families and the state. This indebtedness also hurts California because we're dependent on federal child support funding, and that's determined by our ability to collect the arrears. So if the arrears stall, that it helps us. Indebtedness feeds recidivism and strains both the parent-child and the parent-parent relationship after release. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Wieckowski. Members, any debate or discussion? Any debate or discussion? Before we take the vote here, I do want everybody to be aware of the fact that committee hearings are going on. So we'll be going through the roll call once, and then we'll move the call and come back. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Bell. Berryhill. Block. Aye. Cannella. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines.
Aye.
Aye. Galgiani. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Hernandez. Hertzberg. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Huff. Jackson. Lada. Aye. Leno. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Mendoza. Mitchell. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nilsen. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Stone. Vidak. Aye. Wieckowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Go ahead. Yeah. Secretary, call the absent members.
Bates. Aye. Bell. Berryhill. Cannella. De Leon. Fuller. Galgiani. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Hertzberg. Hueso. Huff. Jackson. Leno. McGuire. Mendoza. Mitchell. Nelson. Runner. Stone.
Senator Wieckowski moves the call. Members, we're now going to move to file item 215. Senator Hall, not at his desk. Pass on file, okay. File item 218, Senator Hertzberg, not at his desk. File item 220, Senator Block. Pass on file. File item 226, Senator Hall is not at his desk. Okay. All right. File item 227, Senator Pan. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1060 by Assemblymember Bonilla, an act relating to cancer.
Senator Pan.
Thank you, Mr. President and Senators. I present to you AB 1060, which establishes the Cancer Clinical Trials Foundation to increase access to cancer clinical trials for all patients, particularly women and underrepresented communities. Currently, less than 1% of eligible cancer patients participate in clinical trials in California, and only 5% of those participants are from underrepresented communities. This illustrates a great lack of access to potentially life-saving trials for the majority of Californians. And it also impacts researchers' ability to evaluate innovative treatments for the varying genetic makeup of women, men, and varying racial and ethnic groups. Economic barriers, ancillary costs, lack of awareness of available trials, and mistrust of the medical system have been some of the largest reasons people do not participate in these clinical trials. AB 1060 targets these barriers through a privately funded state grant program administered by the new foundation. The grant program will provide funds to applicants for activities which reduce these participation barriers, such as patient navigation programs, physician outreach, community outreach, ancillary travel costs for eligible participants and their caregivers, and implementing patient-friendly IT tools to assess patients and identifying available clinical trials. AB 1060 is an innovative approach, partnering public and private efforts to address these barriers to patient participation in clinical trials. Through the foundation, California will be able to leverage private funding sources to help more Californians access cutting-edge treatment. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Pan. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Berryhill. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines.
Aye.
Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Huff. Jackson. Lada. Aye. Leno. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Mitchell. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Stone. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Senator Pan moves the call. Members, we're now going to move to file item 232. Senator Pan. Senator Pan, would you like to bring this item forward? Okay, let's move on to file item 238. Senator Monning. Okay. Senator Monning, file item 238. Are you prepared to bring this forward? Hey, pass on file. Okay. File item 239. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Yes, all right. Senator Galgiani will move to file item 237. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1342 by Assemblymember Steinnorth and Act relating to disability access.
Senator Galgiani.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. AB 1342 enhances the role of the California Commission on Disability Access, which acts as a liaison among the disabled, business, and legal communities on issues relating to disability access. The Commission advocates for disability access while also ensuring that ADA compliance requirements are feasible for businesses. This bill will allow the CCDA to expand their educational and outreach efforts, helping businesses be more proactive in correcting ADA violations and avoiding abusive lawsuits. It will also improve the registration process of access specialists so that the businesses may more easily locate an inspector in their area. AB 1342 has a strong coalition of support from the disabled, business, and legal communities who recognize the value that they have to offer. This bill has received unanimous bipartisan support, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Great. Thank you, Senator Galgiani. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. I. Anderson. I. Bates. I. Bell. Berryhill. Block. I. Canella. I. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines.
Aye.
I. Galgiani. I. Glazer. Hall. Glazer, aye. Hancock. I. Hernandez. Hertzberg. Hill. I. Weso. Huff. Jackson. Lada. I. Leno. Leva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. Mitchell. Monning. I. Morlock. I. Morrell. I. Wynn. Nilsson. I. Pan. I. Pavley. I. Roth. I. Runner. I. Stone. Vidak. I. Wykowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye. Anderson, we have his aye. Huff, aye.
Senator Galgiani moves the call. Members will move to file item 238. Senator Monning. Pass on file item 238. Pass on file. Okay. File item 239. Senator McGuire. Pass on file. File item 240. Senator Lara. Pass on file. File item 248, Senator Weso. Pass on file. File item 250, Senator Pavley. Senator Pavley. File item 250. Okay. Pass on file. File item 254, Senator Pan. Pass on file. File item 257, Senator Bates. File item 257, AB 773. Pass temporarily. File item 260, Senator Wen. File item 260. Pass on file. File item 262, Senator Leva. Pass on file. File item 263, Senator Liu. Pass on file. File item 269, Senator Mitchell. Oops, okay, let's move back, excuse me. Let's see, which one was it? Yes, Senator Bates, this clarification of file item.
File item 257,
257.
Mr. President.
Great, thank you. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 773 by Assemblymember Baker and Ackling to Business and Professions.
Great, Senator Bates.
President and members, Assembly Bill 773 is a straightforward bill that addresses the lack of consistency in licensure duration for psychology licenses. Existing law states that the Board of Psychology use a birth date renewal and expiration system for licenses. Additionally, under current statute, psychology licenses expire after a time period ranging from 12 to 24 months following the license issue date in relation to the licensee's birthday. With this bill, licenses will expire after a 2-year period from the date of issuance, and this ensures much-needed consistency and has no opposition, has received no votes through the entire process. That's sponsored by the Board of Psychology and supported by the California Psychological Association. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Bates. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. I. Anderson. I. Bates. I. Bell. Berryhill. Block. I. Canella. I. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines.
Aye.
I. Galgiani. I. Glazer. I. Hall. Hancock. I, Hernandez. I, Hertzberg. Hill. I, Hueso. Huff. Jackson. Lada. I, Leno. Leyva. I, Liu. I, McGuire. I, Mendoza. Mitchell. Monning. I, Morlock. I, Morrell. I, Wynn. I, Nilsson. I, Pan. I, Pavley. I, Roth. I, Runner. I, Stone. Vidak. I, Wachowski. I, Wolk. Berryhill, aye.
Senator Bates moves the call. Let's see here. Okay, file item 271, Senator Vidak. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1259 by Assembly Member Levine, enacting to Bs and declaring the urge thereof to take effect immediately.
Senator Vidak.
Mr. President and members, today I present AB 1259 that clarifies the Department of Fish and Wildlife's authority to enter into agreements allowing beekeepers to place hives on state lands. This bill has received unanimous support. I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Vidak. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. I, Anderson. I, Bates. I, Bell. Berryhill. I, Block. I, Canella. I, De Leon. Fuller. Gaines.
Aye.
I, Galgiani. I, Glazer. I, Hall. Hancock. I, Hernandez. I, Hertzberg. I, Hill. I, Hueso. Huff. I, Jackson. Lada. I, Leno. Leyva. I, Liu. I, McGuire. I, Mendoza. Mitchell. Monning. I, Morlock. I, Morrell. I, Wynn. I, Nilsson. I, Pan. I, Pavley. I, Roth. I, Runner. I, Stone. Vidak. I, Wachowski. I, Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Senator Vidak moves the call. Move to file item 273. Senator Wachowski. Okay, all right. Pass on call. Let's see, file item 285. Senator Wachowski, you prepared for this item? 285? Pass on file. All right. File item 290, Senator Bates. Pass on file. File item 295, Senator Vidak. Pass on file. File item 296, Senator Hueso. Pass on file. File item 297, Senator Hueso. Pass on file. File item 298, Senator Leno. Pass on file. File item 299, Senator Mitchell. Pass on file. File item 300, Senator Mendoza. Pass on file. File item 301, Senator Hall. Pass on file. Okay. File item 302, Senator Canella. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 571 by Assemblymember Brown, enacting to taxation.
Thank you, Mr. President. AB 571 will align the penalty forgiveness standards for property owners who fail to file change of ownership forms. This clarification will create a consistent standard across all jurisdictions and benefit the taxpayers who qualify for penalty forgiveness. AB 571 passed this House on consent previously, but is back for a technical amendment. This bill has received unanimous bipartisan support. Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Cannella. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Cannella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines.
Aye.
Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Lada. Aye. Leno. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Mitchell. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. Aye. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye. Wesso, aye.
Senator Cannella moves the call. File item 303, Senator Hernandez. Pass on file. File item 304, excuse me, let's see here. Yeah, Senator Jackson's in committee, pass on file. File item 305. Senator Wachowski, Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1519 by the Assembly Committee on Judiciary and Act relating to family law.
Senator Wachowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the annual Assembly Judiciary Committee's Omnibus Family Law Bill. It's a non-controversial measure that changes 4 little areas of the law, and I urge an aye vote.
Great. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Cannella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines.
Aye.
Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Lada. Aye. Leno. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Mitchell. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. Aye. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Senator Wachowski moves the call. Members will move to file item 306. Senator Mendoza, not at his desk. File item 307, Senator Allen. Secretary, please read. File item 307.
Assembly Bill 477 by Assemblymember Mullen and Act relating to elections.
Senator Allen.
Mr. President, thank you. This is AB 477, which will reduce the number of legitimate vote-by-mail ballots that are rejected, ensuring that fewer voters are disenfranchised. So California has the highest ballot rejection rate in the country, which is especially disconcerting because vote-by-mail ballot use has increased rapidly in recent years, with 60% of voters having cast their vote by mail in the last November election. So AB 477 would reduce the number of rejected valid ballots by allowing elections officials to use other signatures in a voter's registration record to verify vote-by-mail envelopes. And in addition, it gives elections officials more time to collect signatures on ballots that arrive unsigned, a policy that has been successfully implemented in both Florida and Colorado. With 69,000 ballots thrown out in the 2012 election in California, we owe it to our voters to improve our vote-by-mail process. This bill will reduce voter disenfranchisement by ensuring legitimate ballots are counted. It also includes technical and non-controversial language for the California Green Party pertaining to their nominating procedures. As you know, for some strange reason, every party has to have their procedures in code, and they have not had it in code ever since they were created as a party. They've had to use another party's code. The purpose of this is to provide clarity and consistency across the state for them, which is something the legislature has done for other parties, including our own Republican and Democratic parties in the past. So with that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
218, 292.
Go back. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. No. Bates. No. Bell. Berryhill. No. Block. Aye. Canella. No. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines. No. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Weso. Aye. Huff. No. Jackson. Lada. Aye. Leno. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Mitchell. Monning. Aye. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. No. Nielsen. No. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. No. Stone.
Okay.
Vidak. No. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Senator Allen moves the call. All right, file item 308, Senator Allen. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1020 by Assembly Member Ridley Thomas, an act relating to elections.
Senator Allen.
Thank you, Mr. President, members. The Secretary of State, as many of you may know, is in the process of building California's new statewide voter registration database known as VoteCal. Finally, it's coming together. That database, which was required by the Federal Help America Vote Act from after the 2000 election, will streamline the voter registration process. The completion of VoteCal will allow for the implementation of legislation that provides for election day voter registration and also for pre-registration of 16 and 17-year-olds as currently provided for under the law. This bill, AB 1020, updates key elections code provisions to provide for the seamless implementation of the VoteCal voter registration database. So it does a few key things I should note. First of all, it streamlines the registration updates and voter file maintenance so that voters' registration are seamlessly updated using real-time efficiencies of VoteCal. It eliminates outdated voter registration procedures and codifies new VoteCal procedures, including clarifying the roles of state and county elections officials. And then finally, it ensures the continued protection for confidential voters and their personal information. It's sponsored by our Secretary of State. It's supported by the California Association of Clerks and Elections Officials. It has Republican caucus support, no opposition, and I respectfully ask your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Allen. Members, debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines.
Aye.
Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock.
I like that.
Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Weso. Aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Lada. Aye. Leno. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Mitchell, Monning, I. Morlock, I. Morrell, I. Wynn, I. Nilsson, I. Pan, I. Pavley, I. Roth, I. Runner, I. Stone, Vidak, I. Wachowski, I. Wolk.